Welcome to the next chapter of As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. This week, we welcome Julian Rosen, frontman for the band Common Sage, to the podcast. Fright Club Records is releasing Common Sage's latest EP, Might As Well Eat the Chicken, You Won't Be Here in the Morning, on cassette this Friday. Friday is also Bandcamp Friday, where Bandcamp waives their fees, so make sure you grab some music and support artists this Friday. When Rob pitched Common Sage to me, he said, "This is the next Modest Mouse." So naturally, Julian talks about not wanting to sound like Modest Mouse anymore. So is life. Julian gives an overview of his musical influences and his band evolution, plus writing, recording, and not releasing music. I enjoy hearing different perspectives when it comes to how people decide to share their art and stay connected with their fans. So I hope you guys enjoy this week's chat with Julian Rosen from Common Sage. Cool, man. You mentioned time zone change. Everything I saw on social media said New York. Did you just move or?
Not too loud. I'm in, wow, I look so dark. I'm in California right now, but I'm not living here. I'm just here for a while.
Oh, yeah. For band related stuff or family or?
Well, my girlfriend and I got like fired once again. So my friend and drummer lives here and her family lives here, so we are here for a while. So I guess it's music related and family related.
Yeah, that's a bummer, and good that you had a place to fall back on.
Yeah, it's great.
That's cool. Yeah, I should have asked before scheduling this. What would have been so early for you?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Very okay. Am I way less bright now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool, man. So are you originally from New York, that area?
Yeah, I'm from Staten Island, and I've only moved out to Brooklyn. So if you include, Staten Island's New York, so yeah.
What was growing up like?
It was pretty normal, I suppose. It was fine. It was very suburban. Yeah. It was good. What was growing up like for you? Where are you from?
DC, the DC area.
What was that like?
Chaotic. I have 7 siblings, so yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. What got you into music?
What got me into music? I really had no idea. My family was into music, I suppose, as many families are. They were like fake hippies. Like they like to say they were hippies, but they weren't really, you know? What else? I have no idea. Fall Out Boy was a big deal for me. Captain Jazz was a big deal for me. And I don't know if you've heard of Modest Mouse, but they were also a big deal for me.
Yeah. That's a pretty big swing between the three bands, to Fall Out Boy to Captain Jazz. What was like that influential kind of discovery range? Just
Yeah, I have no idea. I just have strong memories of like pockets of time involving them.
Gotcha.
And the Beatles.
Wasn't sure if it was like Fall Out Boy was emo, and so you were like, well, what's emo? And then it was like Captain Jazz.
How can I continue this? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm that way. I'm like, oh, what's this? Okay, let me figure out everything that is this thing.
Definitely. I'm 100% like that, but I just remember specifically like just moments in time that heavily rotated around those bands.
That's cool. That's cool. At what point did you start playing an instrument or songwriting and performing?
I think my family forced me to play guitar like when I was like 7. I didn't really play guitar until I was in middle school, I guess. And I started and I was in like a Blink-182 worship band with like my friends at the time. So I'd say middle school. And then maybe like when I was a sophomore in high school is when I actually was like able to write a real song, I suppose. Yeah.
That's cool. Did you just have that trajectory of playing in bands through high school and trying to just figure it out? And
I guess so. I mean, I was in that stupid Blink-182 band for a while. And then I was in my second band for a while, which was like the first like baby version of what Common Sage is. Like all the Common Sage's first album is just like recycled Davy Crockett songs, which was my high school band. So I was only really in like two. I was only really in 3 bands, so not much of a big trajectory, but
gotcha.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's funny. I saw on the Bandcamp page it said an ode to Davy Crockett, and I was like, "Well, that's interesting." But that was the name of the band and not the person. I was like, "Okay, that sounds like a story."
Yeah, it could be a story.
Yeah.
Did you know that Davy Crockett's name doesn't have an E in it? It's just Davy. Unbelievable, right?
Maybe at one point, I don't know. It's been a while since I've thought about Davy Crockett
ourselves. Yeah.
What made that band choose that name, Davy Crockett?
I have no idea. We were like all of those like, what is that? Reminds me of like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist when they keep thinking of like band names. Like we had so many band names. It's very unbelievable. I don't know. I think we were going to be called Paul Revere or something. We got into like old white men names for some reason, I guess. So Davy Crockett was just what we settled on, I guess. I don't know why.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have a note on my phone that's just like potential band names. I'm like, that should be a business where you just sell people your band names.
I know. Honestly, I'd be like their top customer.
When you started Common Sage, was it a way for you to kind of expand to do solo stuff or do something musically, or just like the evolution of Davy Crockett ending? And
I mean, good question. Common Sage was, like I said, just like a whole bunch of old Davy Crockett songs. And one day I was just like, I would like to record these. And like, I had no plans of like continuing it, I guess. And then one day I was just like, I would like to continue this. And my friend, who was the bass player at the time, came up with the name like Common Sage. And it was like always intended to be a group effort, I guess, although it has now become primarily just me doing most of it. But maybe one day soon I hope to get back to like a full band effort sort of thing.
Gotcha. Did you do the cassette release for Where Are You by yourself?
No. Good Sadie put it out, and they were a record label in Philadelphia, and now me and Mark, who was like the main dude that ran it, are like real good friends. but they were just some like little indie like label in Philadelphia. I think they put out like Mississippi's like first album on cassette. They put out My Friend's Brackish, and they're from Philadelphia, on tapes and stuff. Very, very, very cool people.
I'm curious about your album names and the concept, especially. Might as well eat the chicken. He won't be here in the morning.
Yeah. That's from, I was listening to a podcast that was talking about the War of the Worlds like broadcast.
Yeah.
And they were like, they just got like audio, or maybe they actually, I don't know. They had audio of like people at the time who like, people that were alive at the time, what they had to say about it. And this like one old lady like said that quote out loud and was like, I said to my husband, like, we might as well eat the chicken, because like she thought she was going to get killed by aliens.
That's funny.
Yeah. And that just, it's real long, but that one really stuck out to me. I like that quote a lot. So that's the only reason, honestly, it's called that. That's
funny. It's just like, you just like that, and it's not connected to the album in any way, or
it's not connected to it. Like I've found my little ways to connect it to the album since deciding that like I like that album title,
Yeah.
Like in actuality, that it's just because this lady thought aliens were going to kill her, and that's really that's very good. It's very cool.
That's funny. I noticed there's a pre-order link on your Bandcamp with Acrobat Unstable for cassette release for that EP. That just takes you to a dead link. Did that never come to fruition, or?
No, that came to fruition. That was just like a real weird situation, I guess. Yeah, I didn't realize I was even still on the Bandcamp. They just like misprinted the tapes and dubbed them. So like that like upset me, I guess. And then I like got all the tapes like sent to me, and like I was just giving them out for free. And and they deleted it off their website, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah, makes sense. How'd you get hooked up with Rob and Friend Club?
My friend Nicole was very friendly with them, and also I think through her I met Daniel, but I think me and Daniel have been like internet friendly for a while now, like definitely a year. So after I like calmed down from like the last tape release, I was like, well, I'd like to get these tapes released somehow again if possible. And everyone at Friends Club has been very cool about it and into it. So I'm real thankful for them wanting to put out the tape again for me.
That's cool. When you released this EP, were you just sitting on it hoping the pandemic would subside, or was it just kind of, we're just going to release it when it's done?
I was sitting on it once again. It's kind of similar to the first like album, I guess, in a way, which is weird. It's just like a bunch of songs. Well, it was 2 songs that like we recorded and like had nothing to do with them, like didn't know what to do with them. I don't personally particularly like any of those songs anymore either. And like
on the latest EP.
Yeah. So I think it was just like, I don't know, quarantine happened and like my little mind was like running wild, and I was like, gotta do something. And I was like, I should put these out like as a little stupid EP. So like it was only it was only wraparound background, and it was only Saw Daddy recorded. And then I think pretty quickly I wrote Wet Grass for it, which is why it's like mostly acoustic. Like I didn't have a band with me. And then when I went to go record Wet Grass in Philadelphia with my friend Evan, who's fucking amazing. And he's in a band called No Thank You, and they're amazing. But while I was there with him, I just like, we made those like interludes between each of them. So it all sounds like, I hope, kind of cohesive. But yeah, that was the plan. It was just to like do something with them.
That's cool. And Friend Club is putting that EP out on cassette?
Yeah.
That's cool. I saw on Facebook you just finished your second full length though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do that in Philadelphia too?
No. We went to Chicago. That was a whole I don't know the right word here. That was a lot of work, but yeah, me, Phil, who lives here, and my friend Chris, who's back in New York, all went to Chicago for a week and recorded with this guy Neil, who did like Owl's last record, like their new record, and he's done like Joan of Arc and stuff like that. Oh, nice. He recorded Slow Mass, which is like my most recent new favorite band. So like that's how I like heard of him. I looked up who recorded Slow Mass.
Yeah.
That was very cool. That was I'm really excited about that.
That's cool. Is there plans for a time frame for release of that?
I hope this year, but yeah. Other than like saying this year, no, there's like no plan. I'm like, I've never sat on an album like to this capacity, but like I'm gonna sit on this thing as long as possible, and like hopefully Rolling Stone's gonna write it up. No, hopefully hold on, I'm gonna try to get it out to as many places as possible, and hopefully something cool will happen.
That's cool. Is the hopes outside of a label that you'll just be able to release it in a time when touring's back and you can play shows and support it, or is that not important?
I mean, I love playing shows. Playing shows is important, but like pretty right off the bat, I'm not hopeful about shows.
Yeah.
Like I'm not into rushing into a show either. Like when I can play a show and everyone can play a show, like that will be lovely, but like if Epitaph tomorrow was like, we want to put out your record this week and you can't tour for like another year, like of course that's okay with me. Like I don't mind if I tour or not. Touring would be fucking awesome because I'd probably sell like way more of the product. But other than that, like no. Yeah.
That's cool. Is there anything different you're doing musically? You said you're not really a fan of the songs that are on Might As Well Eat the Chicken. Like, so are you doing something different musically or lyrically or?
Yeah, all around, I think, yes, both. I think the first album is like a bit too Modest Mousy for my liking at this point. They're like, those really are like, those songs are from like at least 2016, and they could be from earlier, which doesn't excuse how hard I'm ripping them off. But yeah, they're old. Then on this new EP, they're not as old, but I was like still like in that mind, like that Modest Mouse like mind state of mind. Excuse me. And yeah, I think these new songs are like completely like 100% getting away from that. I'd say like for lack of a better music genre, they're like more post-hardcore-ish. They're like more to the point than like it was before. They're like sometimes they're more simple in a way, maybe. Like I was doing way more of like a verse chorus like sort of thing. The lyrics are like, in my opinion, way more like honest and like about something than they were before, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it's recorded by like a real person in a real studio. So like yeah, all around I think and I hope that it sounds better than the other stuff.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Cool. What else is on your plate? Just staying in California right now, chilling?
Yeah, honestly, me and my girlfriend have got into hiking. So we've been hiking a lot, which is really cool, honestly. I'm really into it. I've been seeing Phil a few times a week, and like we have like a new EP ready to record, which is cool.
That's cool.
Right after having like a whole album. I never thought that would happen, but yeah, that's nice.
Do you think you might drop that EP before the full length, or just sit on material? Or?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sit on material. That wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. But my crazy like fantasy is to like get on a label with this new album, and then they're like, okay, like 2 to 3 release contract, and immediately I'll be like, here's a fucking EP. So there'll be less stress.
We already have the follow up done.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Because I feel like, yeah, I feel like if I didn't have material ready, I'd be way more under stress and like way more scared to like write things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just because I'm being told I have to write things, like I'd be like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's my dream. That's my ideal world.
That's cool. Do you view, I know some people look at like digital music and between Bandcamp and Spotify, like better to put music out all the time and like a single a month or something to try to keep their name out there. You seem unconcerned and just like, we're holding it all back in hopes for big things.
No, yeah. I mean, that's a great idea, and it's probably a better idea. And I'd probably be more successful if I did things like that. But yeah, as of right now, I'm going to sit on it. I'm not so stressed out. I mean, there's no touring.
Yeah.
It's hard to, further my internet presence the way it is, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I don't know what the best option would necessarily be at the moment. I guess I'll continue to learn the hard way.
Yeah. That's just interesting how different people approach what they want to do with their art and goals for, especially in a pandemic where you can't tour, how to best put yourself in front of fans, whether that's TikToks or Patreon or whatever we're doing, right?
Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
I was working with that for a long time too. Yeah.
Cool, man. Do you know when Friend Club is putting out the EP?
I think the plan is like February 4th, maybe early February. I think that's the plan as of right now. I don't see why it would have changed either. So yeah, I think that's the date, February 4th.
Awesome. Thanks for listening to As the Story Grows. Our theme song was written and composed by the legendary Bob Nana. If you like what you hear, subscribe on iTunes and give the show a rating and review. If you'd like to support the show financially, click on the Patreon link at asthestorygrows.com. If you enjoyed this episode, share it on social media with your friends. Much appreciated. and thanks for listening.